What's going on, gang? Today is an exciting day because I'm about to finish off my custom short ram intake for the N52 that's in my E91 BMW wagon. The other day I jerry-rigged kind of a custom like K&N cone filter intake. I utilized the back half of the stock airbox. I also had I placed an order for the intake hose that a lot of people upgrade to, but you know, I was impatient, so I jerry-rigged what I could before, but now the intake hose is here, so I'm about to try to install this real quick and we'll see what kind of difference it makes, if any. I mean, so far, even just with the open air cone filter, there's definitely more noise past like 3,000 RPM. Realistically speaking, I don't expect any gains really, outside of a little bit of noise, but whatever. Cars are meant to have fun with. I have fun with this thing. It's my daily. I beat it up. I also just like to tinker with things, and no matter what car it is, I'm most likely gonna get my hands on it. I just can't keep my hands off my cars. So yeah, we'll get under the hood right now in a second. So this is what I was talking about. This is what I installed the other day. This is like a 3.5 inch outer diameter K&N cone filter. It comes with a clamp, hose clamp. Then I have a Spectra brand, because yes, this was all bought at AutoZone. It's a Spectra 3-inch diameter, 6-inch length tube. I shaved it down. I utilized this back half of the air box where I cut out the charcoal filter. I put some super glue back in there on both sides so it stays nice and put. And then down here I have an air duct that feeds straight from this little section here. You can kind of see where the hose ends up. That's literally gutter runoff corrugated tubing from Home Depot. So honestly, for what I've paid for this thing so far, for this intake particularly, pretty dope. But now I'm gonna get the hose and replace that hose right in there. So I'm gonna get started on that. To get easier access to that hose that I'm replacing, I gotta take off this power steering reservoir. Those are two 10 mils, so I'm gonna start there. So now ultimately what you have to remove that hose clamp there, as well as that hose clamp right there. Flathead, or maybe, I don't know, like a 6 mil or an 8 mil, probably 6. Let's see, I'm gonna get my dedicated flathead screwdriver here. Also, don't be like me, just use gloves straight off the jump. I have a mix match pair, but whatever. Better than nothing, especially while doing laundry. This is what you're working with. That's that little elbow that goes straight to the throttle body. You don't touch this. The only thing you're replacing is this guy. Now what you might want to do just for safety is pull out your MAF so that doesn't get damaged. My connector where it clips in kind of snapped off the other day, but whatever, it still holds. But yeah, we'll move the MAF real quick, or the connection at least. Tuck it in there, and then now this should all come out. And voila. So that's the silencer piece, and that's the actual hose. And now we'll compare it to the new part. Yeah, it looks to be about the same diameter. Maybe a little bigger actually. It's the exact same length, so I shouldn't have any issues fitting it. I'm gonna remove this hose clamp here. I'm gonna give myself plenty of slack. Here we go. So this will go to the air box. This is going to the throttle body area. That all fits, that's good, that's great. The one thing I did notice, there's a ridge on the stock air hose here and here, whereas this is very much just a flat hose. There's maybe a little bit of a lip that goes right here to fit over the throttle body elbow. It shouldn't slip off. We'll see. New intake hose going in. You know what, I'm gonna make my life a little easier. Then get it on the air box first. I think what I'm actually gonna do is loosen the filter push it in a little bit so I have more play here for the airbox. Or not. There we go. Alright, get those hose clamps on. I will say the hose clamp that is closest to the throttle body barely has any give. That's the stock one. That was on the stock hose. Actually, that's enough. There's enough of a lip on the elbow that goes to the throttle body. You shouldn't have issues. Shall tighten. So honestly, at this point, I think I'd be better off cutting the zip tie, replacing the original positioning of the power steering fluid reservoir, and continuing with the install because I need more access to the flathead for the hose clamp. And may as well reinstall the 10 mil on the airbox. We'll get the MAF reconnected. You should hear an audible click, but again, my clip is broken. Tighten things up. Make sure that hose clamp is nice and tight on both ends. Oh, that's not going anywhere. Nor is that one. Alright, and that's what it looks like. New hose right there. Good fit, man. Good job, Amazon. There we go. Let's start it up. Now we get some first impressions of some POV driving, see if there's any sound difference or anything. I imagine it'll definitely be a tiny bit louder than stock. I can't imagine it's really going to give any more power, but maybe there is that air duct straight from the cold air. We'll see if that affects it anyway. In theory, it should breathe substantially easier because there's also no more charcoal filter. It's a K&N filter as opposed to a cheapo, like whatever, Vanguard or Duralast paper air filter that was in there before. It's an open cone filter too. It's definitely going to be noisier. Maybe get some more fresh air, more CFM. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Probably going to be placebo, but it was worth it. It was a cheap mod. It's very fun. Oh, that's much louder. Wow. Sounds good. The noise has definitely improved, that's for sure. It's got much more depth to it. I mean, it could be cool to find out that it added some power, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. That's probably something that requires a tune to actually take advantage of any hardware mods that you do to a car. I just drove past the car and I guess the noise triggered the car alarm. I never thought this car would have that in it, but cool. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll link all the parts I used in the description below. If you like this content, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you did the same thing. I know there's a couple DIYs talking about doing very similar intake styles for this car. It's all just fun. Hopefully, we all know, I'll speak for myself, I know it's probably not gonna add any horsepower, maybe a tiny bit, but whatever. It's just fun to work on, fun to tinker with new parts. Peace out. Enjoy your day.